Hey guys, how are you? We'll go ahead and get started in just a second. Just adjusting the camera. All right, so welcome to Moss's Meta Healing Sundays. Just just waiting for people to log in. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I'm really excited today. You know, you have everything ready and then you go live and then you got to make adjustments. So just give me a second. There we go. All righty. So welcome. So wherever you are on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. So we'll just jump in. So the reason why I'm really excited is that this weekend or this coming week, we are, or I am gonna take, I think nine individuals, and we're gonna push them to, say, the outer extremes of exponential intelligence. The way we're gonna do that is in the daytime, we're going to push the limits between human and machine by racing cars, driving cars. I don't know. I think the top speed is 180 miles an hour. So it's going to be fantastic. And then in the evening, so it's that integration between, human and machine. And then in the evening, what we're going to do is integrate precisely your power source, your time-bound, your timeless, or you might want to call it your spirit, and your physical being, your human machine. So we're going to integrate the two together, see how powerful that you can get, and then see how abundant that you can get. So this is part of, say, a new beginning in my business and my career, my personal career. I've gotten to the point that I can help individuals, like relationships, money issues, health issues. So on, people healing themselves of amazing, even terminally ill type. My hair is all messed up. Terminally ill type patterns, right? And by the way, I don't want the medical association after me. I don't heal anybody, but just like the medical community, Eastern medicine, Western medicine, it doesn't really matter. If your internal healing essence or abilities aren't turned on, nothing will help. Nothing will help. Okay, no drugs, no surgery, nothing. And that's what I do best. So amazing results. But this reality is always about, fixing things and then trying to keep that thing fixed. Well, exponential intelligence or high performance intelligence or consciousness is not about fixing things. It's about understanding that you are perfect, that you are. And this is nothing new, by the way. If you were of your higher spirit, you are perfect. There's nothing wrong with you, nothing complete. So how about if we start living from that consciousness? And that's what I'm transitioning into, fixing the 1%, disease, health issues, relation, all those things. That's really, the small aspect of this. I'm going after, helping you become your best possible self in this reality, which is really cool. And I've done it. Many individuals, a ton of individuals, really seeing what this reality is about. And that's what's really important, especially nowadays. So what we'll do is from 8:30 to 9, I'm just going to work on people. I'll pick some individuals. Not exactly sure how I can go live on YouTube, but I know how to do it on Instagram. And then also on Facebook, if you guys know how to connect with me, or raise your hand if you want to be on an actual call live, just let me know. Okay, so what I'll do is, and then at 9 to 9:30, we're going to go into a deeper meditation on what confidence is, what people who have, say, transformed this reality, right? Those movers and shakers that have transformed this reality, the level of confidence that they needed to transform the world, where one man, say, can transform the whole world. That's the kind of level of confidence I want to get you at. And that goes beyond, it goes beyond, the money, the six, the titles, all those things that people, have control, or the losers that control this reality. No offense. That's what they deem, right? They have a lot of money and they think they're intelligent, that they know everything. But, just like everybody else, they don't. They still die the same way. They get sick the same way, but they want more and more control, just like, again, anybody else. That's not where it is. That's not the confidence we're talking about. So we're going to be talking about that from 9 to 9:30. And then Father's Day special, you still have time to sign up if you'd like, where we talk about the deeper understanding or meaning of what fatherhood is about. And even for women as well, obviously we all have fathers, really changing, say, your man around, whether it's a son, whether it's a partner, resonating properly, so you can, say, create that strong man in your life, or men in your life. So so here we go. Thank you for your reading last week, Moss. This is from Sandy. Thank you for your reading last week, Moss. You reveal such a deep block within me. Hopefully I can move forward into a more enjoyable life now. Yes, you can. By the way, if I read you, if you want me to read you, just let me know. I don't need to know, your real name or anything like that. And I can scan you. And I talk about that somewhere else, but I just want to take as much time to read as many people as I can. So if I do read you through, these texts, obviously we can't, converse back and forth. Just comment back, okay, and see how accurate it was. I know I'm very accurate, so it's not about me, but it's about people who are listening in. So they actually start to believe, say, the mechanisms that are out there. And again, it's not about me. It's about you understanding that there are mechanisms, or, say, frequencies that are out there that you can tap into, because my abilities are your abilities. You just haven't honed them yet. So it allows you to understand, oh shit, there is some stuff out there that's real. How do I connect with that? Right. So I can do this on my own. So that's, or heal myself on my own. So this one is from Sandy Rose. Hi, Moss. My son, 9 years old, has a debilitating head pain. Can you scan, please? Yeah. So one, again, not a doctor or anything like that. I'm just telling you what I see. Okay. One, he has a lot of sensitivities to yeasty type products, or mold type product. Yeast, mold, yeah, mold. So both mold, yeast, anything that ferments. Basically, think of it that way. Ferments, and then, well, mold is just, a decay of fermentation process. So any food, weeds, pastas, and so on like that. So we really want to watch out for that. The other aspect of it, I don't know how you and your partner is, but the pressure between the two of you is really, pushing down on your son. He's just so sensitive, and he just wants to love the both of you. But obviously there's no love between the two of you, or very minimal or very combative type situations. It's like an fatal type attraction feel. You know what I mean? It's like you can't be away from each other, but you can't be together either. So, and it starts pulling the young kid apart, which is unfortunate. So they're pushing that, especially from his father's side. Okay. And then for you, you're kind of like, no offense, I'm just telling you what I see, and if it is offensive, I'm glad. Take it as an offense and do something about it. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Do it differently. I don't care, as long as you get the benefit. Okay, you can hate me if you want. There's this crazy woman, by the way, who hates me, and she writes, negative things about me. I want to get into it because we're taking her to court. But so if you look up on Facebook or anything like that, like class action lawsuit, no, that's all bullshit. So anyway, people do anything for hate. So for you, hon, getting back to you, you really have to stand up. You're kind of like a wet rag, and you, even now, you expect me to say come and like save you. But XI is not about saving anybody. It's really about, hey, these are the tools, let me show you how to use it, and then you have to use it, although you get forced to use it. So what I was doing for you, one, is removing that father identity that keeps pushing into him, and then you helping you say awaken into your own power, because that's what you're looking for, huh? Okay, your own power. So um, this one, I just, oh, your abilities are my abilities, I just haven't honed them yet. Yes, that is absolutely true. By the way, I teach people, many individuals are coming up on their abilities. Obviously, it takes, practice to get to the level, but the more practice you have, and I work on maybe, I don't know, over 100 people a day individually, so I get a lot of practice, right? Perfect practice makes perfect, by the way. This one is, and I'm sorry if I don't get your name right, Solon Gansett. Can you please read my nephew and help him embrace his power of masculinity? Thank you. Sure, it's really hard to be masculine. Um, in your family, you seem like you're always, say, possessed or controlled. By possession, I mean something or some other identity dominates you, whether it's, say, a physical presence, or say if you want to call it a spiritual presence, or I just call it a higher frequency. Whether it's dark or light, it doesn't really matter. So for you, and also it just seems like there's, say, depression, anxiety, and so on like that, that runs in your family, and also, say, suicidal type tendencies. That doesn't come, and again, not a doctor, psychologist, or anything like that, but probably much more effective. It doesn't come from chemical issues, psychological issues, or anything, that we deem, say, psychology. It literally comes that there's a feminine presence in and around him. So for the males, what happens is that feminine presence, and it could be a physical presence, but most likely it's a presence or a consciousness that dictates or dominates or creates like this blanket over your family, even you. So you feel like, say, if you're female in that family, you would feel like a submissive female. No matter what you do, you would attract men that are abrasive and so on. If you were masculine, or if you were a male in that family, you would be, well, feminine. So that's why. And then also your nephew seems to run from, say, depression patterns, or almost like suicidal, or not wanting to be here, or wondering what it would be like if he was somebody else. That's somebody else, say, pushing into him. So let's just take a deep breath in. And as a note, as I work on one individual, I'll be working on the rest of you, especially if you have similar issues. And those individuals who can, say, sense or are coming up in their abilities through XI, exponential intelligence, you can start seeing what I see, and then how I do what I do. So again, learning the trade. There we go. So removing that, and that's where he'll start to, say, really become, so more sufficient. Although he will probably hate women, because again, it's a female dominant frequency that pushes him. So at first, again, probably a hatred towards women, or pushing people away, feminines, and then afterwards, because he has to balance himself, and then he'll be good. Okay. Just as a reminder again, this one is Jamie on Facebook. Scan my granddaughter who was in a coma, and you worked on her after her accident. Thank you. Yeah, it seems like she's doing a lot. She's doing okay, but it seems like she understands where she is. And again, guys, when I work on somebody, especially on these things, it's not like it is a magical fix, by the way, backed by science, although we might look at it as magic, but it's the beginning phase. Right. So, so your granddaughter, she seems like she's got all the pieces of her together. Let's put her together. So, just give me a second or two. For some of you who are new, it's like, hey, can you really change that fast? Hell yeah. And those who have changed that fast, comment in, please. So, your granddaughter, she took that opportunity, um, to have that, say, human accident, and now, through XI, she's taken that opportunity to actually like let go of her patterns of not wanting to, again, be here or feel. She feels desolate or isolated. So, and then when those patterns happen, you would naturally have to attract something or somebody that will make you feel like that. Well, like an accident that puts you in coma, where you're, say, kind of awakened and understand, and then you can't move your body. That kind of puts you in that desolate arena. So that's why things like that happen. So let's just disconnect her and then put her back together. There we go. And if you will continue on. This one, Mossy, I've helped me so much already. Could you scan me? Sure. This is Artist Karina. Yeah, so you're doing really good actually for you. You're fantastic. What I'm seeing is that you've risen above your problems, right? You deem yourself more respectable. You've got a lot of that deeper confidence. Now let's just put you on the right track and give you, say, new knowledge, so you don't have to, say, repeat the patterns. Because sometimes, say we tear down our house, our old life, but then we don't have anywhere to go or any other tools or behaviors, and then what happens? um, you know, um, we might generate. So for you, it's highly important to confirm your deletion. So I don't know if it's a relationship or you're in a relationship, but it seems like one, two, I don't know. I see 2 or 3 relationships around you. Okay. Just to give you an idea, they are learning relationships or experiences, because you lose your identity, especially with intimate relationship. You lose your identity, and then you lose yourself, and then you go, what the hell happened? So you don't want to start that again. So these first 3, just to give you a heads up, so you're very clear on it. These first 3 are probably, again, learning relationships. I'm not saying not to go out with them, because they're not that bad, but you get to see the type of patterns that you're running. Okay? And you might go, well, I don't like this in that person. I don't like this in that person. Well, what are the patterns that are running that are allowing you to attract that kind of, say, relationships? And then you get to hone it, and you go, oh, it's that pattern. I get it. I got that from father, whoever. It's like, observe. Right? So you're in that observing and deletion mode. So really nice job, hon. Just confirm your deletions. This one, feeling faint, dizzy, waves of, yes. Can you help me? So the frequencies that I generate are really powerful. So the closest thing to them are, say, nature frequencies, but I don't know, a lot more potent. Nature just is basically truth, right? When you go out to raw nature, right? Not like a city park or anything like that, because it's just been too polluted, but raw nature, there's this presence that just consumes you, right? So I create that presence. It's called pure presence, or being in the moment so strongly that you get to see all the distortions that you exist in. So for you, hon, coming into this space, basically you don't want to face your fears. You don't want to face your identity. You're too afraid to, say, go into that closet and see what's going on. Well, exponential intelligence, you can't walk away from that. You can't go, well, let me close it. It's not hypnosis, psychology, anything like that. It's just that you got to open that closet, and that's what this is about, opening that closet. But, with people like you, hon, you open that closet, you take that garbage out, and then you look at it, and it's so minimized compared to the strength that you are. And you go, shit, I should have done this, a long time ago, and get over it so I can actually live. Right? It seems like you've never, say, lived in your life. There's always, like, you're always waiting. You're always waiting. Even if it's, say, a fantabulous, adventure or something like that, you wouldn't, say, experience it as fantabulous, because, well, what happens? You're always waiting, because you're too afraid to go, say, or be in the moment. Okay. Also glad to catch up from last week. You edited me without scanning me. Will you scan me? Oh, sure. So glad. This is on, what is this? YouTube. Oh, so glad to catch from last week. You edited me without scanning me. Yes. Will you scan me? Yes. So this is Adrian. So again, guys, I don't have to scan you one on one to say help you change, just like the last caller or contact or this individual. Um, what happens is that the frequencies that I generate, okay, it's one frequency literally for all the frequencies of success, and all those things are different. But for the most of you, it's frequencies of bringing out your own brilliance. That's what these sessions are about. Later on, future events, I can say specific frequencies of success, creating fantastic businesses, things of that nature, or healing yourself completely from aging and so on. So again, it works on all of you, because all of you want to be your best possible self, right? So that's what it's about. So yes, Adrian. So for you, it seems something's new about you, whether you've been here before or been around me for a while. But there's like this newness, or basically an awareness that's like, shit, I have the power within. So that's what it's about. So now you're regaining that power within. But then now you're seeing, say, all these walls that are around you, that are, well, they're not new, although you'll see it as new because you've removed the filters that you see your life from, Adrian, Adriana, yeah, Adrian. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, so, and I want to stress out, guys. If you guys are on this call and then you see a lot of dark stuff, a lot of garbage, sometimes pain and all that stuff that comes out, it's not me. That shit has been around you all the time. Let me explain. That shit has been around you all the time. Unlike that flashlight that goes, hey, this is the stuff that's actually bothering you. Okay. So again, it's not me, it's you, it's your life. I'm just helping you clean out the garbage. So for you, that's where you are. It's like you've awoken to the fact, and you get to see all these walls that have, say, held you in prison, literally. So in this mini session, what I was doing is just, hey, giving you another way of, like, do you have to break down those walls? For you, you really don't. You're very, say, creative. You find the easy way out, and that might sound bad, but why don't we use it for your best abilities instead of like crashing or pushing, in through that wall. There's enough space in between those blocks that you can just easily, say, walk out. So that means that the deep, challenging, say, issues in your life, you might think they're deep and challenging, including illness. I think you have some midsection issues, or people in your family have like cancers or issues of that nature, or like, stillborns and so on, like that. Those patterns can be, say, easily diverted with the patterns that you run. So again, instead of like challenging or breaking down that, say, obstacle, in your case, why don't we just help you, say, go, there's another way of doing life, and you just walk through those obstacles. So that's the way you would do it, hon. Really nice way to do it, by the way. This one is Anastasia. Beautiful name, by the way. I have trouble with manifestation. There are certain situations in my life that won't budge and cause a lot of frustration for me. Can you please read me? Yeah. So, if you're trying to find yourself through manifesting, you would never find yourself. So it seems like, your life isn't really that bad from an outside perspective. But even if you were, say, super wealthy, you lived in this, I don't know, $1 billion home, and, you had all the connections and stuff, you'd feel empty just like you do right now. So it's not about manifestation. It's about really finding yourself. The way I see it, you actually manifest really well. So in your, say, path of trying to find yourself, which you didn't know that you were doing. You've learned manifestation quite a bit, but the physical manifestation is meaningless. Let's help you manifest, say, that connection between your power source, your 99%, right? The power source, or your spirit, I call it your pure presence, and then that 1% that you, say, manifest. And most people spend 100% of their time, right? They're trying to manifest the 1% of who they are. That's why nothing ever feels good. That's why money or success or relationships won't complete you, guys. What XI does, exponential intelligence, is, hey, let's find the 99%. Let's have that deeper connection, and then the 1% just naturally comes for you. So let's take a deep breath in. Got to just keep track on time. we go. So switching that around, so say your pot of gold is not outside of you, Anastasia, it's inside of you. And then as you start to notice that, the manifestation outside of you, say, comes true. Okay. We just have a few minutes. I'm just going to pick one caller really quick. There's so many. So Catherine _small_ Mios. And I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. So we'll just wait for her. We'll go to somebody else. Would you help me get moving and be more active? Hi.
Hi, Matt.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing really well.
Can you scan me, please? I'm feeling very lost lately.
Yeah. So, because nothing, you seem to anchor yourself towards other people or with other people or other situations or a cause, if that makes sense to you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You have to have a cause or you have to have a direction or you have to have a goal. If you don't, then it's like, shit, where am I? I'm useless. That's the problem. If you don't have a direction to, say, go towards, you feel useless and hopeless. It's pretty hard to, say, manifest or create happiness if you feel useless without anything, because even if you make a ton of money, and then you go, shit, I'm useless. And then you need to make more money and more money and more money. Does that make sense to you? So
you're right on.
Yeah.
Right on.
Did your grandma die when you were young?
No, not recently, but
when you were
one
young.
died a long time ago and one's in an older age home.
Yeah. Okay. So something about your grandma, again, a long time ago. It seems like when your grandma died when you were young, it affected your mom or dad. Yeah. So anyway, that death really messed them up, and then you just had that sinking feeling, so to speak, if that makes sense to you. Does that make sense to you?
Kind of.
Well, look at the way your mom walks around. It's just like she never got over, say, a death or sorrow or tragedy. Does that make sense to you?
She's always looking for some kind of happiness or something to fill herself with.
Yeah. Well, that's where it comes from. So when you're a little girl and you're looking at that, and it's like, man, I'd be happy here. Why the hell isn't mom happy? And then it's like, oh, since she's been here around longer, I guess I need not to be happy and keep searching. Does that make sense to you?
You're right on. Exactly.
So
perfect.
It's an easy fix because inherently you are a naturally happy person, deep inside. And that's what, say, grinds you the most. It's because, shit, it's like, I know I can just be happy. I'm like psychologically fit and stuff, but why isn't it not working? Well, that's the reason why you just got, say, stuck on that, say, you're just tripping up on that little bit. So it's an easy fix for you. And let's help your grandma. That's, I'm not, again, I'm not saying she's going to cross over soon, but who knows? She's older. She's in a home. She seems like she's crossing over soon. So I could be wrong. Who knows? But let's help her cross over. So one, she doesn't, say, step into you, or, her patterns or her ways don't step into your mom or dad. Is it your dad's side?
My dad's grandmother's passed away, and my mom's grandmother's in a home.
Okay.
But she's on the verge of.
Yeah, got it. So so your dad's mom never crossed over. She just hangs around. So there's that heaviness in the family all the time because there's, death around the family all the time. So let's help her cross over for sure because she's not here anyway. Just give me a second. And then let's help your mom's grandmother. Whenever she's, your grandmother, your mom's mom, whenever she's ready to understand where she goes. So in this case, religion and being a nice person and all those things didn't really fare well for her. And again, no offense against religion and being nice and all that. But it's not, say, the nice that we're looking for. Basically, it's just burdened her and kept her lost. There we go. So your grandmother kind of feels like lost to me. Does that make sense to you? Or
she does.
Didn't know.
Yes.
Even did did her husband die, like in her 50s
Yes,
or
he died.
60s?
He just died in
okay.
November.
Okay. So something happened to her at 50 or 60. Basically, that just kind of took the wind out of her, from what I'm seeing. So
he almost died, actually, at 50.
Okay. Yeah. So that just like, shit, she's going to be gone. Then what the hell am I going to do? That kind of feel. And then that fear just set in all the time. So, I don't know how old she is now, but that's a long time to live in that. Okay, I'm going to lose him. I'm going to lose him. That kind of pattern as well. So just helping her out crossover.
You just made so much sense. All the women in my life are lost, and now I'm lost.
Yep. Yeah, and then you'll perpetuate that. Yeah, so that pattern for you, hon, is deleted for you. And I know it sounds kind of strange, but comment back next week and you'll see what I mean. Or write in and you'll see that there's just this beautiful, not caring, just happy attitude. Okay?
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome, hon. You're so welcome. Okay. All right, guys. So again, you guys see most people, I think could actually say solve their own issues if they knew what their actual issues were. But most people don't know their own issues. That's the problem. So let's go ahead and jump into Moss's Meta Healing Sundays. Okay. And as a note, guys, I don't need to scan each one of you to help you. I know there's like somebody's husband was dying, and as I scan you, by the way, or read, just 1 second, sorry. Sorry, guys. Again, if you're new at this hotel, really excited about coming to New Jersey. We're going to do the high performance, XI performance, where we're going to be racing cars in the morning, and then really integrating your timeless powerhouse and your time-bound human. So merging. So in the morning, human and machine. In the evening, spirit and human machine. So I'm really excited for that. But let's get to the Moss's Meta Healing Sundays. Let's take a deep breath in, just noticing where you are, the space around you. If you're new, welcome. And just notice again where you are, and I'll guide you through that space. So notice any sounds, my voice, any other sounds coming from whatever direction, and then notice your body. Okay, notice the tip of your nose. And then another breath in. Notice any lighting, whether your eyes are open or not, doesn't matter. Notice the lighting coming in through where the light source is. Notice any scents, any smells. Notice any the taste in your mouth, the temperature on your skin, and then most importantly, spatial references. So notice, say, how you're sitting, the position of your body, where a lamp is compared to where you are, where the wall is compared to, say, where your knees are. So any of those details. Let's take a deep breath in again. We're going to combine. There's a ton of people on all three platforms, so fantastic. So it creates more. It allows me to generate more frequencies for you, more powerful frequencies. There we go. So connecting to the mastermind group, that mastermind, allowing us to go further, faster, deeper, allowing us to get, say, rid of those ruts that we've fallen into. And then as we take another deep breath in, again, belly breathing, inhaling into the chest, asking ourselves, how do I connect to my purest source even stronger. Again, that question, how do I connect to my purest source even stronger? So as we settle in, one comment, many friends died lately. Yes. I predicted that a lot of people dying off. The new consciousness, not it's not for everybody. So you'll see a lot of natural, say, so-called uh, death. I wouldn't say natural, but death. So one, let's help them like cross over, because I do see a lot of heaviness, and then we'll get into, say, that deep level confidence. So just give me a second. All you have to do is pay attention to, for most of you, your upper chest, on up. There we go. And I did talk about this on one of my podcasts, my latest podcast, by the way, on why that happened. So you might want to read up on it. So today's talk is about, say, confidence. So confidence, from XI's perspective, doesn't come from money. It doesn't come from it doesn't come from intellect. It doesn't come from power. It comes from that connection from your higher self, your 99%. You might call it your spirit, and then your, say, 1%. So your time-bound body, your human identity here, your timeless identity. So that's the confidence that we're talking about, say, the deeper connection, and then money, resources, intelligence, whatever else that you need comes from that aspect. So great individuals, for example, their most precious resource was that deeper connection that they had, okay, between them and, say, a higher consciousness, usually themselves, but mostly another consciousness. But we're going to do it with yourself. Okay, so as we take a deep breath in, and I'll explain the difference. First, I'll help you bring in that consciousness that I'm talking about. So it's not theory, you actually will feel it. So all you have to do is notice, say, your shoulders, the 2 points on your shoulders here, right here and here. And then if you could draw, say, a triangle from here right through the top of your head, so the point here, up above your head. So a triangle. Just notice that area. There's no significance, by the way. Just notice that area, though. You can even create it as a pyramid, so having depth for you. So what I'll help you do is fuse together that deeper knowing of the grander version of who you are. Yoda would call it, from Star Wars, the Force within. You might know, especially if you've been pushed and shoved, that deeper, grander version. It's like, if only I could say, pull that power from within me out, right? So that's what I'm talking about. So let's merge that together. What if you could use that power from within? There we go. And notice how solid or condensed you feel. And notice I didn't try to hypnotize you or, you know, help you visualize anything. But it's just changing the frequencies that you resonate at. Which is different than, say, sending you frequencies. What I'm doing is editing your frequencies. So this is different than sound healing or frequency healing or, all that other lower level physical stuff. There we go. So now as you settle into yourself, notice the level of love rising for you, or that deeper connection, feeling of safety, maybe security for you. Although some of you might feel a little more afraid because you're facing some of those things that make you fearful, but you're facing it. You're not running away from it. So that's a lot better than where you are. There we go. By the way, this is in psychology. It's not a state change. It's not a mental attitude. Feel your body. It's like every cell of you is resonating differently. You're exuding, say, that completeness or confidence, as we call it, in this reality. I want you to understand the mechanics, because it's not a psychology. It's your resonance. So if you stayed in this space and you interacted with people, people would go, whoa, what's changed? Many of you feel that way through XI, right? It's like people they can't figure you out. This is why. Because you feel different to them. You're resonating, your frequencies are different, in this case, more confident, more powerful. So think of something that might have happened to you in the past that wasn't the best. Abuse patterns or being shortchanged or cheated on or whatever hurt you. And notice how that feels to you. There we go. Do you notice that you can't interact with that because that's at a different level than where you are, right? Key is, well, how do you maintain this level? I'll show you how to do that. Just a few minutes. Notice some of the challenges or problems or ruts or repeating patterns or people that aren't beneficial for you or situations that aren't beneficial for you. Do you find that they're easier or it feels like more doable to walk away from those things or find other solutions? There we go. If you're feeling really light, by the way, it's a heaviness. It's all the dead individuals or consciousness or memories, however you want to define it, gone. Let's just say the burden of death, shall we? Wonderful breath in, strong deep breath in. As you notice any distraction coming from my side, your side, then focus on the distraction and then focus in on you. So let me switch you to, because as I scan the group, many of you believe, say, in a mentorship or angels or say spirit guides or higher order or something to that effect. So pay attention to your heart space, your chest space. So the 2 points, and then your groin. So it's a upside down triangle. And again, you can make it an inverted pyramid by extending forward and backward the shoulder points. Okay, into say 1 point in your groin. If you can't figure that out, no worries. But those who can, very powerful. So I want you to stay focused in on the groin area. Those who have given your power away, hence lack of confidence. That's what confidence means, or lack of. Many of you or society deems that you have to be successful at something to be confident. Only 1% of who you are. That's why it never feels confident. And this is where, like the deep state or, I don't know, people who try to control this reality, or governments and so on like that, right? Control patterns. That's where it comes from. Their power, their wealth, and everything else doesn't cut it. So they need to control. Just like you at an individual level, right? So what those individuals, including you, have done is you've given your power, you're connecting to a source that's not of you. Whatever you want to call it, a mentorship, a guide, a higher consciousness, different intelligence, aliens, and so on. It's not your source. You can have the same frequency or the same, say, benefit from you, which say replenishes you. Strong deep breath in. There we go. So now that you're centered more, say, solid, let me push you into the sources that you were connected to, or the source that you were connected to. Okay? So, one, where you should be. Okay, this is where you are, where you should be now. And then I'll put you into your normal state. and then we'll go darker. Just to give you experiences, okay? For some of you who are afraid, you might want to step out. Again, you're safer than ever. We've got your back. So take a deep breath in. There we go. And again, this isn't psychology. I'm not, planting your seeds, words, anything like that. It's not hypnosis. I'm not telling you to get into a trance or forcing you to get into a trance and all that simplistic stuff. So notice how that feels. Not as stable. Yeah. Questioning yourself. Needing something outside of you. Again, that something outside of you is you trying to find your higher version of who you are. Not somebody else. It's not another angel. It's not, I don't know, a Godhead definition or anything. Wonderful breath in. And I bring mentorship in. Very important, especially say in business nowadays, right? Everybody's spousing. You need a mentor to be successful. Dangerous if you don't know how to do it right. It's good theory though. And I'm not saying that practice is wrong, but you need to do it properly. Mentorship comes in various forms. It stems from when you're a child. Who's your mentors? Your parents, maybe your older siblings, society, right? You learn from others around you. And then those who are gifted, different presences in different realities, angels, spirit guides, whatever definition that's been created for you. Again, always outside of yourself is the key. Notice how you feel now. Questioning, not that great. So those who want to become like somebody, you see somebody rich and famous. Oh, I want to become like, let's just pick Bill Gates. It's a topic of town. I want to be like Rihanna. I want to be, I don't know, Johnny Depp, whoever. I want to be Mother Teresa. I want to be Warren Buffett, or whoever. So let's help you. So define somebody who you want to be like. So what you're saying is, I want the same consciousness or power source that gave them power, intelligence. I want to be a Tesla, Nikola Tesla, or Elon Musk. So whoever you've defined yourself, you want to be like. Some of you me. Thank you. So notice there's an initial reaction of, say, if they're wealthy, you might feel that, say, essence of wealth. But then as you go deeper, knowing that consciousness that gave them wealth, there's like that sense, tribulation inside. Doesn't feel complete, connected, comfortable. That's the underlying, say, hook that gets you. There you go. That's where you lack confidence. That's where you get sucked into more and more of something, someone outside of yourself. Most of you not feeling that great. It's not me, guys. It's all the stuff that you're, say, soaked in. TV, whatever, readings or thought processes. It's not it's not what they're teaching you, it's the teachers. Those of you who picked, say, like me, all over different, I'll explain that. Or say a Jesus frequency, a Buddha frequency, or those types of individuals that were pure, you would see that you couldn't be them. You couldn't latch onto them. It would offer you the reflection of the grandness of who you are. So those mentors are okay, very few of them around. But all the rest, you see how you get, say, pulled. That's what you got to watch out for. I'm not saying you can't study under them, but notice you want to keep your version of who you are and learn their tactics or their methodology on success or spiritual awakening or religion or whatever it is. Okay? Strong deep breath in again. Just open your eyes just for a flash and just close them back up. We'll reset you. Just get rid of all the heaviness. And we'll just go darker. It's a great experience for you. Okay? It's a safe experience for you. I just want you to note reference points because it's like having a guide showing you where to go, what not to go, what not to do, and so on like that. Okay, that's why we're doing it here. So when you get into or dark, it's like, shit, Moss took me in these areas. I need to turn around. Otherwise, the darkness or distortions are very seductive, especially people who run abusive patterns or fear patterns, right? You want to know what you're getting into. There we go. So there's a lot of talk about Luciferianism, Satanism, and that's why I bring this up. I want to be protected for it just the same way as dark religion. There's no difference between, say, dark religion and Satanism. It's just another religion, okay, that binds you, controls you. And the most, say, brilliant people on the outside, the one that has that magnetism, again, notice how you feel as you get, say, pulled into them. That's my point, right? So you don't get, say, sucked into the distortions or the lies. So just take a deep breath in. So do you feel a vortex or something that's pulling you? Again, for some of you, might feel euphoric if you're running abusive patterns or control patterns. It's very seductive. Watch out for that because it's pulling you out of yourself. So darkness, whatever seduction is always about pulling you out of yourself. It's the wrong way to do it. So whenever you feel that through somebody or with somebody, no matter who they are, no matter how nice they seem on the outside, you want to watch out for that. There we go. And then let's pull you back in to your grander version of who you are. So we'll give you that confidence that you're looking for to help you again find your own path to truth, right? Create that deeper connection, that strength within you to become successful or healthy, better relationships, a better version of who you are, to be a better lie detector on, fake news, or even conspiracy theories that aren't true, all those things. Again, using your own internal guidance, okay, to keep you safe and secure. Again, and that's where that internal confidence comes in. And then once that, begins or starts rolling for you, we can work on, say, deeper level confidence, like connecting to, say, future vision, another reality for, say, great ideas, whether it's your, company or the next great invention, or, just something to improve your life at home or kids and so on. So, in about half an hour, we have a father's talk coming up. So the deeper understanding of fatherhood. So I invite you to join that. All right. As always, notice what you notice, and then notice the details of what you notice. All right, guys, take care, peace, and I'll see you. By the way, please, if you can comment on your social media and then tag me, that'd be so fantastic. All right, guys, take care.